Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Before we do roll call, I want to remind everybody to give your location. Roll call.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carey,
Here in Hastings.
Jarvis,
Here, Home, Hastings.
Moppenmore,
Here, Holman and Hastings.
McNabb Stang,
Here,
Have the
home,
commission meeting.
Hastings.
I just left
Redmond,
upstairs. I have the commission meeting right now.
Rezegi,
Here in beautiful Hastings.
Smith,
Here, Hastings.
Tassava.
Here, Hastings. Did you call Redmond?
I did call Redmond.
Okay. Entertain a motion to excuse Councilman Redmond tonight.
Bowers, you've got that motion from me.
Motion by Bowers,
Smith,
Support by
support.
Carey.
supported by Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Will you all rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Everybody get a chance to look at the agenda. Any additions or corrections? Do I hear a motion to approve?
Carey, I approve.
Like sport
Motion by
resolution.
Carey to approve, supported by Rezegi. Roll call.
Bowers, Bowers,
Yes.
Carey,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moppenmore,
Yes.
McNabb Stang,
Yes,
Rezegi,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
and Tassava.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Everybody get a chance to look at the minutes. Need to
Smith
approve the
makes a-
minutes of the meeting, December 14th, 2020 virtual meeting and the December 15th, 2020 virtual audit workshop.
Smith makes a motion to approve the minutes and place on file as written.
Support, Jarvis.
Motion by Smith to approve, supported by Jarvis. Any discussion? Roll call.
Carey,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moppenmore,
Yes.
McNabb Stang,
yes,
Rezegi,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item, open public discussion regarding matters not on the agenda. As always, if you have anything you want to bring up in front of the council, you can do it. You have 3 minutes. All I ask for is you give me your name. And anything you bring up, it could be items not on this agenda. Anybody out there like to talk tonight for 3 minutes?
Hey, Dave, it's Therese. I'm not sure who has their mic on, but I can't hardly hear because of kiddos in the background.
I think that's Jim Carrey.
Oh, let me mute. Hey, Cindy, she had baby goats in the house here.
Oh, good. Anybody want to get on the agenda for this public discussion? Okay, moving on. Proclamations, we have none. Can you hear me now, Therese?
Yep.
Okay, item 8, public hearings, we have none. Item 9, formal presentations and requests, we have none. Item 10, recommendation from other boards, none. Ordinances, none. Item 12, consider resolution 2020-39 to stay a portion of the ordinance allowing restaurants to utilize outdoor seating through April 30th, 2021. You want to talk about this, Jerry?
Sure. This is coming to the council because of the extension of the orders by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, which is causing restaurants to be creative on how they can provide services for their patrons. Fortunately, through the Barry Community Foundation, a generous donor in Barry County has agreed to provide these igloo structures that the state order allows to be utilized with these restaurants. And this donor has agreed to provide these to restaurants through Berry County, and some of those are in the city of Hastings. Now, some of those restaurants, in order to utilize these igloos, would have to set up a situation similar to what we had to the sidewalk dining that you gave a state of the order earlier in the pandemic. So what this is asking for is to remove the requirements that they have to have a platform, to also remove the limitation on the parking spaces that will be determined through staff and an application process. If they do not have their own parking lot, some of the restaurants have their own parking lot, and they would be able to set the igloos up in their parking lot. And then the last one is to remove the requirement for the fee that's in the ordinance. This is kind of proactive a little bit. They're still working through the details of all of that. So this is kind of opening it up so that once all of these things fall into place, this is already in place, so that if restaurants want to participate in that and provide this opportunity to have the outdoor dining with these igloos, we're already prepared for it. It will still be a application process if they're going to use city right of way or city parking lots to do that. And it would then also have staff approval for safety of not only the patrons to the restaurants, but also the public that are utilizing the right of way. And we also have Jennifer Heitzelman and Bonnie Geddes have joined the call today. They are kind of spearheading the program for the county. And again, this is just for us as the city to be prepared for when this comes into place. If our restaurant establishers want to utilize this, they have the opportunity to.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Yeah, just, I want to hear a motion and support, and then we'll go back to discussion. So anybody,
Smith will make a motion to approve resolution 2020-39.
Therese Mopin Moore support.
okay, motion by Smith, supported by Therese Mopin Moore to allow. Now we'll ask for questions. You got a question, Don?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a few questions, I guess maybe for Jerry. I might know the answer to the first one. Why not a longer term, Jerry? And then the second question is, if approved, will the city staff be reaching out to the local restaurants that might qualify for this, or will the people participating with the grants reaching out to them, or both?
So the first question, the reason why not longer is because per our ordinance, starting May 1st is when we have our regular time for people to apply for outdoor dining. So this just gets us to the point where they fills that gap. And that's why that date was picked. Because the weather's starting to get nice again, and they probably won't need the igloo structures, and they can go back to the requirements that we have for sidewalk dining. Most of the restaurants in the city of Hastings in particular that I'll speak to have been contacted either by Dan King or by Jennifer Heitzelman, and I think Bonnie Geddes is also reaching out to them throughout the county to tell them that this opportunity is available. So they have a list of who has agreed or is interested in this opportunity, and then they'll be working with them to set up the plan.
Okay, and then Jerry, will we need to approve something like this next year? We're still in the same situation, from state orders.
It'll
This has
depend.
an end date on it, right?
Yeah, this has an end date because again, this is taking up parking spaces. Our normal sidewalk dining limits the number of parking spaces they can take up to be 2. Because these structures are a little bit bigger, what's being proposed here is to not have that requirement right now, to allow them a little bit more space to put these structures in. Once we get to the springtime when the weather's getting nice, it'll go back to the requirement that they can only use 2 parking spaces if they get a permit. If we're still in the same situation we are at that point, we may have to see another one of these. Call it optimism on my behalf.
All right, thank you, Jerry. That's
I
all,
have
Your
a
Honor.
question.
Go ahead, Don.
What are you gonna do about the snow when it comes? How are you gonna operate that? Are they gonna take care of their own in the street or whatever?
I've already been in discussion with Jim James. There will be some requirements on the restaurant owner's responsibility for the parking spots that they're utilizing to get the snow away from the igloos. And then Jim is putting together a plan for snow plowing so that they're not pushing the snow back on top of the igloos that are there.
Don't you think we ought to have that all put together before we vote on this?
Well, we're going to put that plan together. This is just to allow them to put this space there. If we don't have this stay of the ordinance, under our current requirements, the restaurants can't even have outdoor dining as an opportunity right now because it doesn't fall within the window that our ordinance allows. Our window is for our ordinance is May 1st through the end of the summer, August 30th or 31st. So it doesn't even fall in the window. So it's not even an opportunity for our restaurants that are in the city if we don't have a stay of the ordinance.
The only thing that I'm concerned about again is you're voting on it to go ahead and do it, but we don't know the ramifications of the rest of the resolution that we're asking them to take care of and how the snow is going to be removed and where it's going to go. And that bothers me. I think we could put it off for 2 weeks till we get that. I'm not against it. I just want to know all of it. I don't like to start okaying something without all the information. And I think that's what you're doing here.
Any other questions?
Mayor, this is Bonnie. May I speak?
Sure.
So Don, I understand your concerns and I really applaud you for questioning some of the details that we've yet to hammer out. But what I will say is we've got restaurants that are hanging on the thread as it is right now. And, you know, the foundation has already stepped up with our partners, our financial partners. We've sent out over $90,000 to all the restaurants in Berry County and purchased tons of gift cards that we gave back to United Way. This is our last ditch effort to try to help them stay open. And when we talked to the restaurant association, they really felt that there wouldn't be, the restaurants won't be opening to full capacity until sometime in September. And so we've got to do something to allow them to get their employees back to work. And we've got to allow them the opportunity to put money back into the coffers of their restaurants. Or you're not going to have to worry about snow removal at all because you won't have any businesses that are going to be enough businesses to be paying for the services that you need. And this is really a win-win for everyone. And I don't mean to sound disrespectful at all. I've been talking with the owners and listening to this is unbelievable what they've gone through and what they continue to go through. And I think it's a good faith effort on the part of the council to say that you trust your staff and you trust that the restaurants will do what needs to be done.
Bonnie, I agree with you with the part of that they've lost a lot of money because of this, and I want to see them. When can you get the igloos?
Well, when we looked at all of the opportunities at this point, and they may not even be igloos, they may be, what we found is actually there's some really nice event tents that are rated for snow that are more of a square structure that might be even more advantageous to the snow removal and to getting things away from those particular items. So we're still working out some of the details on our end as well. The igloos have doubled in price since we began to look at them. And I think it's supply and demand, right? So lots of people have been looking at those igloos, Don. So we're looking at some different types of structures.
But when would you get them?
Well, we're hoping to be able to order them tomorrow and they'd be here within the next 5 days.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Bonnie. Al
Just a
Jarvis.
second, one at a time. Jarvis, go
Oh.
ahead.
Who?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Al.
Me? Okay. Are we looking at something like they had at Summerfest with the crafters where they be able to close it down somewhat? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, so they have sides they have 4 sides. And they actually have windows so you can see inside of them as well.
I mean, I can't imagine with the experience I had that, from a cash flow standpoint, worst months are January, February, March, and I just wish them luck that this works, but, I wish there was something I could do, but I don't think there is, so.
You can
I feel-
vote yes.
Don, you got another comment?
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to say that I've seen restaurants do this across the state of Michigan and be pretty successful. I think this is a good effort from the local community to do this. The only thing that, and I know the staff's going to work out a bunch of the issues beyond the resolution, but there is one thing that I have concern about. It's with, I always supported restaurants outside of the sidewalk, but when we have people sitting in parking spots, I've seen a lot of cities like Grand Haven, Grand Rapids, where they put up hard barricades due to the risk of the cars driving 3 feet away. I think maybe if the city reached out to the state, or if we have those type of cement barriers that we can put up, I think that would be a good way to alleviate some risk, especially in the winter times when it gets icy and snowy and cars could lose control, come around a corner. I just think that's something for the staff to look into, and I hope they make the right decision. But other than that, I support this resolution. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody else got a comment?
Yes, Your Honor. Rezegi here. I have a comment. I believe we should do anything we can do to support all our local businesses. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, this is McNabb saying I'd like
Go
to
ahead.
make a comment. I would like to request that the staff come back with the answers to Bauer's issues when at the next meeting, so that we do have a report. I'm not suggesting that we delay voting on this. I think we can go forward with it. I think it's something that does need to be supported, and they need to be able to move forward. But I think we need to be advised of what ends up being determined on what they're going to do about the issues.
Okay, anyone else?
That's it.
I have a comment. I'm behind our local restaurants 125% or more. That being said, I think one of Don's concerns is snow removal. We're pretty lucky right now with the type of sophisticated equipment we have. Every one of our trucks, our newer, bigger trucks.
Let's be honest, no one cares, nigger.
Anyhow, I don't know what that was, but we have the capacity to turn these blades hydraulically. You don't even have to get out of the truck. So if they come down through these streets where these units are sitting, they can angle their plow the opposite direction, pull snow away from these places instead of dumping it towards them. And I think we're in this. Everybody says we're in this together, and I think we are. The city's in it with the merchants. We're in it with the restaurant owners and the community foundation, and that's pretty nice. Anyhow,
worries doing
I'm in
that.
favor of it.
Who's doing that?
I have no idea.
I have a feeling we have just been hacked.
That's ridiculous.
Daddy.
Is there anything you can do with that, Jerry?
I think we've just been hacked.
Fucking report them niggas.
I'm working on it.
I'm a nigger.
I
I'm a
got
nigger.
Nigga,
Nigga. I don't like niggers. No one cares about you guys, bro. Go, nigga.
Invite more people. Hey, you have the link to invite more people?
Nigger. Nigger, nigga. I love you, dude. Look at David, bro, looking like a motherfucking white bitch that just came out of Old Town Road.
Gary, I don't think
You can't go
do
to hell,
anything
you
about it.
stupid
They've
shit.
hacked into our system.
I posted your link. I didn't hack into your system.
Jerry, they posted our link into the web, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I think we should just probably end and then start over.
That could, but even at that, if they post a link again.
Yeah, but we can
Well,
shut
they
it
can't,
down and
once,
end this.
once I get them out of here, they can't come back in unless I admit them. So
Okay.
I'm trying to find them all in here real quick and make sure they can sit in the waiting room for as long as they want.
Great.
So just give me a second. I'm just making sure that I got everybody out of here.
I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
You're probably right, Don.
So I think we got everybody out. I'll keep watching and try to bump people out. There's a bunch of people sitting in the waiting room. They can't get into our meeting unless I let them in.
Thank you.
So I'm not gonna be admitting anybody else.
Jerry, who
Yep.
is the 540414 number?
I am not sure, but they were here at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's somebody who's just
Because it looks like they've sent a chat to everybody.
the 5441 did.
Right.
The 540414.
Jerry, that might be me. This is Roger.
Oh, that's you. Okay, then I'll leave you in. So it's Roger that's sending all the chats to everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
way to go, Roger.
Put out that fire.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I think I got everybody out who's been messing around, but I'll keep watching.
You're muted, Dave.
I'm not muted now, am I?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay, I think we've had enough discussion on this, so we already have a motion and support. So roll call.
Hey, Your Honor, this is Jim Carey. Can I have one question though?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How many locations are we talking about?
I can
How many
answer that.
restaurants
We've
do we
only had
have?
five restaurants in Hastings that have agreed to participate.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, roll call.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moppenmore,
Yes.
McNabb Stang,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bowers. Bowers. Carrie,
Yes,
motion carried. Tasva.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolutions, appointments, consider mayor's appointment of Lynn Denton to the planning commission effective January 1st, 2021. Lynn is one of my appointments that would have been approved the first of the year, but being our meeting is after the planning commission meeting in January 4th, I'm asking to have him approved tonight effective January 1st, 2021.
I'll make that motion, Rezegi.
Motion by Rezegi,
Or Jarvis.
supported by Jarvis. Any discussion?
I have a question, Mayor.
Go ahead.
They don't have to live in the city?
No, there's a provision in that says that he owns a business in town and it doesn't say that you have to live in the city. There is one provision in there where that person can own a business in town.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yep. Anyone else?
Does he owns property in the city, right?
I don't know if he owns that building or not. He has a business in town.
I know the rule is if you own property, like I own property up in Big Rapids, and I can get on their planning commission because I do own property. I can't vote, but by owning property, I can be on their planning commission. So
Yeah. Well, I had people smarter than me check into it, and they said it was okay.
nobody's smarter than you, Dave.
Oh no, right. Any further comment? Roll call.
Hoppenmore,
Yes.
McNabb Stang,
Yes.
Rezeki,
Yes, I believe he's gonna be a great asset.
Smith,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carey,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 14, bid contracts, agreements and sales. Consider emergency shelter contract between the city of Hastings and Green Gables Haven for $5,000 per year for 5 years. Authorize the mayor and clerk and treasurer to sign it. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve. This is McNabb Stang.
Okay, support.
Bowers, I'll second it.
Motion by McNabb, Stang, supported by Bowers. Discussion? Anybody have any questions on this?
This is McNabb Stang. This is the same contract as last year, right? Or last year, right?
Well, it's a 5-year contract. I think they had a 5-year before that, so it would have been the one from 5 years ago.
Actually, Brenda,
Yeah.
it's the same as what's been in the past. The only difference is prior it was renewed annually. And so this is extending it and have it be for 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was an annual thing. Okay, thank you.
Told Al I wasn't the smartest guy here. Anyhow, any further discussion? Roll call.
McNabb Stang,
Yes.
Rezeki,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carey,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Hoppenmore,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes.
Motion carried.
City manager report.
Well, first on off, thank you for your patience in getting that situation covered. I think we're good for right now. We have like 40 people in the waiting room if anybody wants to talk with any of them again. So first off, Chief Pratt provided his monthly report in your packet, and I know Chief Pratt is on the call. So if anybody has any questions for Chief Pratt, please let us know.
I have a question, Jerry, Your Honor. Smith?
Okay.
Chief, are you on the line?
I am, Don.
I was looking at the report and I see, obviously, like across the country, here in the city, we've had some things go up from property damage to assault to, violations of controlled substance to family abuse within the city, according to your statistics in your report. Is that, you guys been able to control that workload, having to deal with that quite a bit? Or is there anything you guys have been doing to combat that in a way that, maybe makes it easier for you and your staff?
Well, to be quite honest, there's nothing that's been easy this year. But we've been doing a good job of managing what comes to us. I think overall our numbers are actually down from last year. And fortunately, we have not seen the big increase in domestic violence or other assaultive or violent behaviors that other part of the country or even the state has seen. So I'm very satisfied with where our numbers are at this point.
Okay, I just want to recognize that I do see some things that have gone up on that, and I just want to thank you for your guys' service. So,
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Jeff, I
Thank
know
you,
we
Donna.
got the new cars because I've seen those out and about. Did we get the new computers that go with the cars or the new computer system that we were supposed to be getting? How is that going?
So yes, we did get the new computers, and I believe all the kinks are worked out. Very Central Dispatch, they did a good job. They have a new CAD system, and that did not affect us as much as it did other departments in the county.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Jeff, this is Jim Carey. Your staff is always professional. Real
Thanks, Jim.
professional.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you, Chief Pratt. Also in your packet is the monthly report from the clerk treasurer, director of finance. And I know she's on the line if anybody has some questions related to her report. If you have any questions later, please reach out to either Jane or myself. Thanks, Jane, for your report. Also in your packet is the report from the Community Development Department from Dan King. I know he's on the line if anybody has some questions for him.
The only question I would have is it looks like we're moving ahead finally on the Moose property. And the Kendall House is going to, still is looking for the state to give them some help. So I appreciate the update.
Thank you, Don. This is Dan. Yeah, to follow up on the vacant site, which used to house the Moose building. Yes, they did receive their letter of interest from the MEDC on December 11th, and they are working feverishly with the MEDC and also with their staff, moving bits and pieces of these the programs that they're going to be dealing with. So just one thing I want to point out for City Council's benefit is we will be working as feverishly in conjunction with them on their amended brownfield plan that they will be submitting to our LDFA and brownfield for their review and subsequent recommendation to City Council, and also a couple of the other programs that City Council voted in favor of support, like the Neighborhood Enterprise Zone and the Community Redevelopment District. They'll be bringing those applications sometime likely before the middle of January 15th or sooner, because the letter of interest from the MEDC is a 90-day time frame. So there's a lot of work that's going to be packed into the next 90 days. So in all likelihood, City Council will be seeing, if not every 2 weeks, at least once a month, information for review and subsequent approval for Venna Clausen. So yes, we were all ecstatic about the MEDC's granting of the LOI. Also, on the Royal Coach site, General Capital has submitted a amended site plan that Planning Commission will be reviewing at next Monday night's meeting. Fantastic renderings, bringing the character of the old, the former building into the design elements. So again, that's going to be exciting for the Planning Commission to review that. And they're shooting, well, they have the February 1st deadline to get their revisions to MISTA for the low-income housing tax credits. And same thing with the Kendall Place. You'll be seeing an amendment, the second amendment to their option agreement at the January 11th meeting. They need to have that in hand as they move forward to the February 1st deadline with MISTA. So some very, very good things starting to break loose in the development area. So, and I also wanted to thank Bonnie and Jennifer for being on the call today. They have been collaborating hard on assisting businesses in Berry County and in Hastings with the dining. And it's I applaud the council's efforts tonight to move forward with those elements, because yeah, it's been a straining time for all businesses in Hastings and Berry County. So if there's any other questions, I'll stay on the line for a minute.
Sounds like 21 is going to be a great year.
Yes, it is, Don.
This is McNabb saying, I have a question for Dan.
Good.
Okay.
The Planning Commission hearings that they're going to hold, they're looking to define commercial recreational facilities. Can you give me an example of what would be a commercial recreational facility?
One of the definitions would be like TriFit, the weightlifting and just
Fitness
exercise
center.
Recreational. That's one element of that. we don't have, we had to revise our definition of commercial recreational facilities because it was noted twice in the in different formats in the B1 and B2 district. So Planning Commission will be holding that public hearing to basically align those two definitions.
Dan,
Yeah,
Dan, can I step in a
I
second?
understand.
Brenda,
Oh, sure.
Brenda, to try to answer your question, if you look at our current ordinance, it specifically names individual types of recreational activities that would have the facilities. It was under the recommendation of our planning consultant that we come up with this commercial recreational facility, include the things that are already in our ordinance, but it also allows, as things are new opportunities are coming into play. We were running into issues because specifically fitness centers were not listed in our ordinance as something that could be in an area where you can put a bowling alley. And so you couldn't bring a fitness center into that zoning district. So it was recommended by our planning consultant to make a more general name for it, and as opposed to the specifically naming every one of them that is. And then it comes down to a discussion with the planning commission if it fits within the criteria of a commercial recreation facility.
Okay, great. That helped a lot. Thanks, Jerry.
All right. Well, thank you, Dan, for your report and the information that's there. And like Dan said, it's 2021 is going to be, and Dan and Don, is going to be a great year for us. The next thing on the agenda is to set a public hearing for our next meeting. This is to continue along with the community development block grant for apartments at 205 South Jefferson, which is above where the art gallery used to be. You've approved the grant administrator for this project. This is kind of just following along the lines of what the state requires from the MEDC for us to keep moving this project forward. So we need to set the public hearing to hear comments on the application for placing these apartments in that location.
David,
I'll make a motion. This is McNabb saying I'll make a motion that we.
Motion by
set the
McNabb
public hearing.
Stain to set a public hearing. Do I hear support?
Support Jarvis.
Support by Jarvis. Any further comments? Roll call.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bowers,
yeah,
Carey,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
McNabb Stang,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And then lastly, I'd like to take this opportunity, hope everybody is having a great holiday season. I know it's been different for everybody, but I want to thank my staff and all of the employees at the City of Hastings and the effort that they are putting in to continue moving things forward as we wrap up 2020 and go into 2021. So it's been a great year. We've moved some things forward in spite of the pandemic. So I want to thank everybody on my staff for that. And I want to thank the council for their support moving forward with a lot of the projects that we have. And I wish everybody a happy new year.
Okay, item 16, consent items without individual discussion. As always, if you see something you want to talk about, wait till I'm done, we'll come back. Item 8, invoices, we have none. Item B, draft minutes for the Rutland Charter Township City of Hastings Joint Planning Commission, December 16th, 2020. Item C, draft minutes for the Cable Access Committee, December 21st, 2020. Anybody want to pull any of those to talk about them, or do I have a motion to approve and place on file?
Motion to approve and place on file.
then I'll make the second.
I think that was Moore that made
It
the
was.
motion and supported by Don Bowers. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Smith,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes,
Carey,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
McNabb Stang,
Yes.
Rezegi, Rezegi, and Tassava.
Yes.
Motion
Uh,
carried.
City Attorney's report.
I have nothing for council this evening, but I also wish you all a very happy new year.
Thank you. Legislative Director's report.
I have nothing for this evening.
Open public discussion from the floor. Anybody out there with any kind of intelligence want to open up and ask us any questions? No drawings or anything? Mayor and council comment. Teresa, any comment tonight?
Nope, I'm good. Just have a happy new year.
Thank you. Brenda?
Happy New Year to everybody, and hope to see you next year.
Don Bowers?
Yes, have a safe and happy new year, and we hope to see you in 21.
Jim Carrey?
Boy, when Bill Redmond shakes your hand, you know it. Bill, you're good. See you.
Al Jarvis?
Oh, I'd like everybody else, Happy New Year. Hopefully 2021's much better.
John Rezegi, you out there? Don Smith, any comment tonight?
Yes, Your Honor. Yep, just a few comments and then I'll be good. I read over the policies and procedures for our hybrid public meetings, and I think it's great for the Public Act 267. I do think there's some things in there that we got to have more detailed. I'd like to see, during Section 5A talks about the chair explaining the procedures electronically, how people can communicate via Zoom. I think obviously after what happened today, I'm sure staff is going to figure out how to bring people in and mute them, but have some sort of procedure where they know how to raise their hand and ask a question so they can be vetted before they have public comment. So maybe that doesn't happen again. And then I also like to see on the policies and procedures that maybe through the hybrid meetings that because of the technology that we have that we either show our face. I think that is good best practice. Also, I'd like to see the maybe city live stream it through Facebook in Dan's department, possibly. I know nobody could hack that; they could just watch it. But I think that's a good way to reach out to public, especially since we have so many Facebook followers. It would ping to them, and then people would be involved. It's a good and a bad thing, but I think it's what we're supposed to do. And I look forward to next year. And everybody have a happy new year. Thanks, Your Honor.
Thank you. My only comment tonight is for our fellow councilman, Bill Redmond. I want us to keep him in our prayers and our thoughts. Bill is in Grand Rapids now. I talked to his family. There really isn't anything going on right now that I can pass on, but have everybody just keep them in their hearts and prayers. And I wish everybody a happy new year. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yes, so moved.
Support.
Smith, supported by Jarvis, to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We're adjourned. Happy New Year.